comrades on the platform. What can go so? I want to recognize these comrades on the platform, in particular the councillors who ran in the last election. We are where we are today because the councillor candidates stayed on the ground despite the multiple postponements of the last election. I don't believe enough credit is being given to the turmoil that they went through and the commitment that they showed to the People's National Party. I like to look at what was the situation before and after an occurrence. Before the councillors took the ground, we only won 14 seats. And after they took the ground, we're in line to win 40 seats. I therefore am grateful for the efforts of the council. To you, the comrades who stuck with us at our lowest, who never afraid to wear your orange, who never afraid to show up to conference, who never afraid to talk at the bar, to talk in the taxi, to talk at the bus stop, who continue to believe that better must come and better is possible. We will never forget that you took us to where we are to be in line for government whenever Andrew Holden's called the election. I want to big up the candidates for this election. I see Anova being represented. I hear that is Two Love. Are the two? I see Sentan represented. It might be Four Love. At best 3-1. I see, of course, the boss from Manchester. Not my boss, because this is the president, the Senate leader. Hey, by the way, you can't come and Senate, come hold me. Hey, you have a kid with lick man sometime. You have hold me back sometime. Hey, stop encouraging. Why, I just beat and beat. Black teacher, I don't just beat. But respect to the next member of parliament for Central. Listen, Central need to come back to where it belongs. I'm a man, you know, I'm selfish. I don't want to hear my name 2 times in a parliament. One Crawford. And his name is Crawford. I don't want to hear no more Crawford. Me don't know how to vote. Yeah, I don't want no other Crawford. Yeah. One real Crawford. But I don't want to call some, I don't say nothing. And Peter Bunting, the leader of the Senate, organizing our activity and making sure that the fight is carried on a Friday. Now, I see JP carry out a DJ. I'm a brethren named Vegas. But if you want, listen, I'm not quite with Vegas, because if you want to be a liberal, you can be a liberal. But there's one thing that we must recognize is that the PNP is better. If the GLP bring Vegas, I mean not this Vegas. But the PNP bring Buju, the PNP bring Cartel, the PNP, there's no comparison. Everybody. When Cartel came to conference, Mr. JP must have to go back and raise Bob Marley. Mr. Come with Vegas. Well, if I saw the election over this side, yes, sir. Then we know win. Who don't win? But I now focus on them artists, Vegas. I focus on our artist Cartel. Because Cartel keep a party called Freedom Street. And tonight me I make a speech called Freedom Speech. Now there's 3 types of freedom. The first freedom is the freedom to dream. That is God-given. Anything God gives, no one can take away. That's why even a slave could dream that he was free. That's why even the poor can dream that he own a private jet. Because that freedom to dream is God-given. The second freedom is the freedom to be. And that is God-desired. That freedom to be was what was taken away when you were a slave. You couldn't be anything you want to be because you were not free to be. And the third freedom is the freedom to achieve. And that's God-pleasing. This election is about the third freedom because we were already free to dream. And with the ending of slavery, we were free to be. But when Bob said emancipate yourself, it is because we were as the PNP so that you're free to achieve. The first thing is infrastructure through roads. Now enough people underestimate the value of roads. Because them feel that does the comfort and when me in the taxi my back hurt me. But understand, say, without good roads, if your house are burned down, the fire truck take long to reach if it can reach. By the time the fire truck come, you lose your house, your asset. If you get a stroke, God forbid, by the time the ambulance come, and if there's no ambulance by the time the taxi reach, you might have crippled if you're not dead. That is the importance of roads. But understand that if you have a house that is hard to reach, the value go down. Because no one now go on the land or the house is hard to reach. And so the importance of infrastructure brings that freedom to achieve. And I see Labour right now say that them have fixed 2 roads in every constituency before September. I hear they're doing 4 in Northeast. But in Northeast, in Central, in any constituency you think of, there is at least 30 road I want fix. Maybe more. And I have a man running against me who take a video of these roads in my constituency and say I'm going to ask Andrew. That is his solution. I'm going to ask Andrew for fix it. But if Andrew now fix Fim Road, Andrew will fix other people road. So the first freedom is that freedom to have infrastructure. Because if you don't have that infrastructure, it makes it difficult for you to achieve. The second freedom comes through education to achieve. Now everybody knows that the PNP is the education party. And when I was sitting there today, I don't know if it's the devil or it's God, but Comrade Bunting reported to me that the JTA president said in an effort to go on like they're fair, they can't trust none of the 2 parties. On what basis you gonna negotiate with government and government tell you a lie? How me getting it? What can go so? But there are some people who tries to sell themselves as non-aligned. And in trying to sell themselves as non-aligned, when dog bite them beat puss. When puss never they nowhere at all. If there's anybody fighting for the teachers at this time, it is the opposition. he might not know because he didn't come to my speech. He came to the minister's speech. So if he wanted to lick both, he should have attended both. And with all the fight to me a fight, to go on like the truth don't matter. The man said, he can trust no. Well, the teachers know. Because me a teacher too. So I was the one who bring most of these things to light. So if you feel like you never want lick labor right alone, then no say nothing. But it hurt my heart with the effort that I have placed to defend the teachers. But I wondered to myself, why labor right hate education so much? Remember they said they never see scholarship, they only see sugarship. Remember them say selfish over education. Remember them say education can't yam. Why labor right hate education so much? And it is because it is the only route that the poor can take. It's not education they hate, it's the poor. That is why they treat teachers in this way. Because an industry, a profession for the poor, have always been teaching. If you check the first degree of a poor family, 90% of the time, the first degree was a teaching degree. And that might be why they decide to act as if they are unworthy of respect. I had a conversation with someone yesterday. I said to them, why should the teachers pay to be registered? Why should they pay for professional development? He said he doesn't have a problem with the government paying if the government can afford it. So therefore, there is no consideration about if the teacher can afford it. But the only way the government should pay is if the government can afford it. So somebody who have 1.2 trillion, you are going to wonder if him broke. And somebody will only get 2 million, you are going to force him to pay. What can go so? And the other reason the teachers are worried is because you say anybody can report the teacher. And when the teacher hire a lawyer and them say the teacher not guilty, the teacher still have the cost of a lawyer. So if you go in front of a committee and them say, oh, you were perfect, but you still owe $1 million because you hired a lawyer. This is not new information. The police have been going through it within the company, where the police are saying create a fund so that we can now go and reclaim our legal fees. Because they have JTC have 10 lawyers and teacher will go with none. Teacher go with village lawyer because they can't afford to pay lawyer. They don't even understand the meaning of the terms in the bill. Because I teach every Saturday as a volunteer. And they say we can't continue because every Saturday is not ad hoc. So me now if we go register for turn teacher, pay for tech, professional development, police certificate in my life, do 30 hours of performance for go teach 1 2 hours on a Saturday. How can that make sense? And in spite of me saying all of that in Parliament, I didn't like the minister. Can you realize me now really get like really they were favor leader getting. The minister go on the radio to say how we just said that. And that we were not ready when the debate was to be had. She go further to say that the people can watch the debate And they will see that some of the people that were talking never read the bill. Well, the only person who talked for the PNP was me. And me didn't read the bill. There was another senator that get up to talk about the JTC bill and discuss her wedding. So why the JLP actually vote on the JLP? It looks like war over there. Because I couldn't be. She talk about it must be number 25. You know when they say who me? Couldn't be. Must be number 23. I nearly dropped them when the senator get up to talk about the JTC bill and start with a picture of Mark Golding and then said who was at her wedding and the total guest list. When me get up, I say, I can't comment on nothing you said because I wasn't invited to the wedding. The other labor right that get up. Talk about teacher have more care, teacher have more house. I know him not say section 1, part 2 of the bill. The most disrespectful thing I ever heard was that them send this man to control me. You ever see Bolt run a primary champs? We not take on them the little dibby. But when they came with the bill, Senator Bunting was present. On the day of the bill, which have 99 pages, the JLP tabled 35 amendments. And we said this can't debate today because we have to look over these amendments. You can't trick me. So when we say we cannot debate, Senator Bunting go and said this have to postpone. They said they will do it at the next sitting. You know the minister go and say, I gave them 2 weeks. Basically selling that out of her magnanimity. She gave us 2 weeks. The next week, Friday was Good Friday. How we never debate it on Good Friday? No, Senate never keep. That is the way the JLP communicate. They find a little nugget of truth and tell one big bucket of lie. It was 2 weeks, but not by gift. We were very ready. We couldn't expect that this bill where you look over and for 23 years and 2 years and 9 miles and instead of 35 amendments on the day. And then I go ask now, why we never said in the commission, like the commission banned me from saying in the debate. After any joint committee, and you have one place named Nationwide we are campaigning. I want to bring this for the news. Nationwide is campaigning for the jail. And people must listen it with that understanding. I see Nationwide ask Mark Golding a question. Me over there talk to myself. And Nationwide ignore Mark Golding answer. And carry me. They say me say, me late but me rich. The interviewer said, I have a question for Mark Golding. Mark Golding moved to the podium and hold the mic. He asked a crazy question that a man who is in banking did not consider cost. His entire training is around cost. There is nothing that Mark don't ask cost for. If I tell him that I was down in Patrick tonight, he was going to ask me how much it costs. But we know that any idea that we put there would steal it. There is a competitive process called an election, and they don't want we if we have no strategy. You know, so we say we have a feed picnic, and the next thing now, Andrew Thief that. Hey, the way make labor right thief, them thief are me styling. What goes home? Me say, when me see Andrew 2 years after me, say when you check the DNA, you're not the father. The man never cheered up no night. Plagiarism. Then last week me in a parliament, I hear them say, you look out, you close your good eye and look out at your body. I say, wait, no me say that last week. Labor right team, my style. So we say, we're going to provide 1 meal per child in school. All of a sudden, Mr. Labor right come out now. We are going to do breakfast. So we know, so we're not giving Andrew a speech before him talk. So we hold back some of our things. And when we say we're going to give poor people something, JLP #1 statement is we cannot afford it. We say we are going to give 1 meal per child in school. They say no, can't afford it. But they can give 3 meals per adult in prison. What can go? So we hold back the numbers and allow them to make a fool of themselves. Yes. You remember before Mark Golden talk and Julian, Nationwide kept saying, PNP not ideas, PNP don't have any idea. How a whole party with 3,000 people could have no idea? You could have said we don't have no good one. But 3,000 people must have one. Remember the first time Andrew talk, them say was young and bright, and Manchester and come and take off the bright and say young in. Who do you remember? So when we said that too much bright picnic are working a wholesale, so the first person in every family to matriculate to university would receive a scholarship. You know who then said we calculate it? Darrell Vaz. Darrell Vaz can't pass 10 without licking checks. Darrell Vaz said 9, 10, 11, 12. How am I going to reach trillion? I say, when this election is done, my gift to Darrell Vaz is some buckle stopper. So he can count to 20. We're not here yet. After the election. They sent Darrell Vaz. So Nationwide was saying, PNP not an idea. PNP not an idea. When we box them with idea, they say, we can't cost it. So when we present the cost, they say, but Crawford say we late but to reach. How that reaching at this point? Listen to me now, man. It's a Crawford said, we late. Big headline. So I said to them, that education is a way to achieve freedom. So that is why we say for people who have difficulty getting to school, we will give 2,500 a week to subsidize getting to school. Because we want a person with the ability to be a doctor, to be a doctor. If you put a tractor for run taxi, everybody laugh off of the taxi. Let's say what kind of mad tractor man this. But we have people who have to be liar. Or we are selfish. We have people who have to be engineer, accountant. We have people who are supposed to show them ability and capacity in government. I've been led by labor right. Because there is none who bright like when me in 1 grade. And then tying them in the eye. The other part of freedom is health. Now I want to warn the youth them. who get up and drink rum and boom from morning till night. You to start to pee for free. When you're 40, you're going to pay to pee. You call it dialysis. Because the whole of them kidney mash up. And I don't know why we take up this. It's like we're depressed because from them wake them want a mental distortion. And then smoke the weed and drink the rum and drink the boom. Not even advertisement. I don't see government say, yo, this not right. Them allow them to kill themselves. I don't want people to drink rum and say, no, but I vote for PNP. But I still I tell you, I don't want to go kill off yourself. If you don't have health, you can't achieve. Some will not eat no breakfast before you start. But at the same time, if you check it out, some will not eat for nutrients or just for your belly full. Yes. You need to eat dumpling and butter. There's no nutrients. I see people buy unleaded gas for their car. And me bun and cheese for their lunch. The car use 87 and them buy 90, so they want the car dry sweet. And then now eat no vegetable, no fruits. And then they start to deteriorate. By the time them are 50, them start to lose sight, sick of diabetes. By the time them are 51, they start to have high blood pressure. And what money for spend on picnic or school or spend on medicine. You need that improvement in healthcare. That's why the PNP rebuilt the hospital in Manchester. Yes. What have they done since then? What have they done? The way Mr. Labour write a sample. Christopherton, hear me tell you, say me never know you'd have a worse than Christian Columbus. Christopherton is a worse Christian Columbus. The man has fixed a hospital for 9 years. He came and said 2 billion will fix it. If a man come to my yard as a mason, I say, how much you build the wall? And say 2 million. And when he start, he come back and say 22. I'm fine, then I'm fine. And after all of that, the man opened the one part of the hospital when I have nothing to do with patient accounts. The man go open the accounts department and keep a big thing. If no open A&E, if no open maternity ward, if no open accident and emergency, the man open administration and accounts. What? So when we talk about health, you must have the access to the clinics, but you must also have the access to the ability to eat right, to exercise, to reduce stress, because these things are taking away the freedom to achieve. And then the final thing is the right to earn. Now notice me say earn because you have two ways to earn. You have one way to earn through salary, you work for your man. But you have another way to earn through ownership. You work for yourself. They don't want we to know about the last part there. That's why when I said we are going to give the children a goat, it wasn't just for them have a goat. It's for them to learn the value of ownership. That him could assist when him have him one goat, it turns something. It's a mindset change. But to show you how Jamaica bias, show me a Rasta, I guess. When me say me I give a goat, they call me goat man. But when Andrew say I give a donkey, they not call him donkey. We don't see that. We don't see something wrong with that. But wait till me give a cow, they will call me cowboy. But there must be a focus to own. That is why when you own a piece of land, work it. When you own a skill, use it. You see, the rich have a way of not telling the poor the truth, because they don't want too much competition. You notice every time them show a picture of a farm, I have a cutlass. And a donkey. And no teeth. But then now show best dress. We have a plane. No farm them farm, no chicken them farm. Then now show Jamaica producers. We're wealthy, have a mansion. No banana and pineapple. Then now show choo-choos. And where the park with farm cane. They show sufferation. So that the youths now say them no want farm and no farm food and farm food. But understand, say if you drive over St. Elizabeth, some of the biggest houses you see are from people who put them on in the soil. Some Manchester people. Me go walk up a few place and see some big house up there. I try my wrong girl to see if I could have lived in a house, but no work out. She says she married her girlfriend. But the point I'm making to you is that they tell us that those who rich own something. That means if you're poor, you have to accept don't own nothing. But the truth is that those who own something rich. That is why we start NHT, so you could have owned a house, because those who own something rich. That is why we put money in BBJ, so that you can own a business, because those who own something rich. And the next PNP will put a trust loan that don't need no collateral. But when you take 100,000 and pay it back, you get 200,000 next time. That's why we call it trust. And when you pay 200,000, we say, all right, hold 400,000 next time. That means you can go plant out one little square of tomato and sell it, and then you go plant out one half acre tomato and sell it, and then you go plant an acre tomato and sell it, and grow, because we trust the people. That is why we have put a system in place that you can apply for an extension for your event. So that you don't have to worry when you turn on your sound at 2 o'clock before the bar starts selling. All anything at the bush is a bush. Blue light come and say laka. And you realize that I have never seen Sunfest laka. I have never seen no big dance laka. Rebel Salute no laka. When I was minister, I called police for jazz and blues. I said, lock it off. Because I want to see the uproar that would come in this country if you lock off jazz and blues. But there's no uproar. Fear man will throw him and throw him in the round robin and when a field night. Oh, people still consider labor right. Labor right will lock down the country and open it for some place and then lock it back. Oh, don't forget that during the state of emergency, cook shop did have a lock. But the big brands could have stayed open. Oh, don't forget, man. Oh, don't forget, say big dance keep them in a niggeril, man. In the midst of COVID, with the permission of government. But any little man couldn't turn on the radio. Oh, don't forget that they tell you, say, yo, we don't eat no go for we. Oh, people still are consider labor. So when you look at ownership, it is not just the big, but the little man who's starting little to grow big. Grace Kennedy is 100 years old. Let them show you when number one. He never big son. That's why me grow my goat to give me daughter. And then she grows some more and give her granddaughter. One day we are going to catch up with Stuart. One day we are catch up Grace. One day we are catch up Where the Park. So when you have your local 5 acre, don't look on it like you. Because when I watch TV, the lion teach the cub how to hunt. If you not teach the cub how to hunt, then for hungry. But at the same time, the zebra better teach him how to shift. Otherwise, lion yam him. You have to invest and build. So this election is not about you. Of course, if we have some pliers in Kwagitwe. Last time I said my bun sequence and ply. PNP get mad problem. But what I'm saying to you is that my father run back a Michael Manley so I could be better. And me I run back a Mark Golding so that my pitney tutus can be better. I hear some people say no call her tutus. I call her tutus because me black and she black. If me call her pinky, nobody would say no. You know, see country. Because she black, they say no call her black. But if me call her reds, then that's everything alright. If me call her chin chin, nobody would say no. But black is told not to be beautiful. That's why we have spent money on breast and bottom and nothing on brain. You think they're not happy for that? You think they're not happy so now go down at the Chinese man shop for your eyelash and here? Because they might make more profit after your lack of confidence. I remember when me grew up, black people used to confident. When they say, "Maga, here, my maga, but me sexy." When they say you're fat, me fat, but me sexy. No fat people that take out a belly, put in a butter. The point me I make comments is that this is about something. It's about a country that we are comfortable with. It's about a country that opens avenue for your children to be better than you. It's about a country that put people in place that have some form of integrity and morality. It's about putting a person who have proven themselves as a worthy representative, a friend of the people, and an honorable man. And an honorable man. Central Manchester, the trumpet have sounded. My countrymen are awake from their slumber and answer. Respect. Power to the